I had no idea that so much of the world's oil, the world's energy, was dependent on the Strait of Hormuz. That blew my mind. Um, because I never hear about that. Nobody ever talks about that. I didn't know that all these other countries are dependent on Iran for oil. I mean, that's crazy that all of this petroleum dollar cash has just been flooding into Iran. I don't know exactly, but all I've heard in terms of like where did this oil surplus take control of the supply chain? I mean, there's oil all over the earth, but like why Iran? Why? And what I ran into was the old British Empire. So I don't know how relevant that is, but the British Empire has influence in Iran on controlling the oil. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it's just, I love that this is happening because it's just shining a light on something that I knew nothing about. Um, I don't think I've ever heard the news ever say anything about the Strait of Hormuz ever. So the fact that 1/5 of the global oil supply comes out of there just shook me. I'm shook because that money's going into a dictatorship regime, like, and or the British Empire or the Bank of London or what, like what? And is it just some sort of recycled loop of cash flow? Probably. I mean, at this point, the rich are so rich. What do they care? I mean, sure, they want to get richer, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, after you hit a million, it might be exciting. After you hit a billion, sure. And then what? 100 billion? What difference does it make after that? You just do it for fun. That's what it feels like. It feels like people just do it for fun. Because then when you're playing the game like that, then you're just like, why not? Why not? If I can make a billion, I can make 10 billion, okay? And the power to them. Honestly, that's cool. I'd like to make my first million still. Gotta light that fire under me though. I'm like so much fire, and then I'm all this water, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But beyond that, I don't know. I've had to surrender so many times and just have faith. You know what I mean? At some point, you might try this, try that. I hear this from younger people, and I was like this as a younger person. I was a lot more try this, try that, try this, try that, self-help, self-this. But then you get to a point in life and you just surrender and you have faith. I mean, you just surrender into faith. And I would have never understood that as a kid. If my future self said, like, you're going to surrender into faith, son, I would have said, huh? What? I wouldn't have understood, but it comes with maturity and experience. And yeah, surrender into faith. It feels good. It certainly feels good, but it feels like, shit, I should have done this a long time ago. I should have surrendered to faith a long time ago. I think I did. I think I was setting myself up for it, maybe unconsciously, but I think I was. Because I was always seeking, I always had my own religious practices, I would say. Like we went to the church and stuff, but I also had my own spiritual practices, my own religious practices that were just coming from me, coming from my higher self. I think my higher self has always wanted peace. I mean, what here's what makes us so similar. Like it's like we all just want a few things: peace, a healthy family, prosperity, right? Like what else is there? Health, peace, and prosperity. It's like, and humanity is all perplexed and convoluted to the point where it's like so many people aren't even experiencing those things. That's wild. I feel like it's much harder what's been designed down here to do than just the natural order of flow, of abundance. That is the natural law. And it's proven all around us. The air, the oxygen is in abundance. The ground, the soil, the dirt is in abundance. The seeds to grow are in abundance. The water to flow is in abundance. That sounds like a song, right? That's so cheesy. But you get my point. Abundance is natural law, and yet we have this guy as this visor over us that it's actually the opposite. It's actually maybe in the natural world, but in the man world, there's scarcity. Okay? And you've got to fight for your rights and fight for your resources and all this stuff. And people genuinely believe that. I'm not saying it's not true, because it is true for a lot of people, and that's what they genuinely believe, and that's what they genuinely practice. But it's also not true simultaneously. It's not true. There is abundance. There doesn't need to be all this competition of resources. That's also true. It's just a matter... Oh my God, Mazda. Fuck you. I never get road rage ever, but that Mazda just shot out at the roundabout. Oh wow. Nice looking. Anyways. What were we talking about? Shit. Abundance. That Mazda was in abundance. That Mazda was just like, fuck you. He did not yield. Abundance. And AI, for me, AI is showing me abundance again. AI is showing me the natural law, which is abundance. And this is why I love AI so much, and this is why I'm so excited now. I feel like I've been in hibernation for like 15 years because I'm just waiting for the next... That doesn't sound right, but I just wasn't excited by technology for a long, long time. AI is the first time I've been excited. I remember taking college courses for web development and learning how to front end this and back end this, and it was just like, this is so lame. Like, I just thought it was lame. I wasn't into it. AI changes everything. And it brings us back to natural law, which is abundance. So we're already seeing it with business entrepreneurs who, are making an abundance of products with AI. It's creating an abundance of products to sell. It's creating an abundance of revenue to gain. And this has never happened in my life. This is amazing. Like, let's not get over that. I feel like younger people who grow up with this, they're just taking this totally for granted. Like, and I'm not saying everyone has to jump up and down, but geez, this is like out of this world cool. So cool. And it's funny, whenever I get really super optimistic about AI, you will always get the pessimist person to jump in. Because that's their cue. That's the pessimist cue to be like, oh yeah, you think it's a good thing? Oh yeah, just you wait. Just you wait. Have you seen the movies? Have you seen them? Like, yeah, that pessimist always has to jump in about the AI, right? Look, I'll say I've been there, done that. I've seen the movies. I've seen the theories and the scenarios and all that stuff. The point is that your point of awareness is now, is the present. That's it. That's all you got. So if you're going to stay in the present, because that's all you got, and you're going to be a pessimist in the present, you are unproductive for me. You're unproductive. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that at all. There's rational stuff, but all these hypotheticals, these drama hypotheticals, and I have a family member who does this all the time. And this family member just draws up all these pessimistic hypothetical scenarios that are not true, that come out of their own fear, that never happen. And all it does is hold them back and make them just be still and not take action. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I just don't have time for that anymore. You know, I have an old friend that the more I talk to them, we didn't really talk about a lot of current event stuff, but the more I got to know them as an adult and like how they had evolved, just like I'd evolved my thoughts, the more I realized they were a complete and utter pessimist about everything. And I was like, I can't stand your attitude. I can't stand your perception towards everything. You know, to the point where I literally was like, dude, I'm done. Like, this is not for me. Okay? Gotta take a hard right. These pessimists, and it's just, you see it all over the media. The liberal media just screams pessimism. That's why I left the left, because the Democrat Party used to be something like okay, but it just evolved into such pessimism. And this all started about 10 years ago, at least in my observation. So anyways, that's my update. Here in the state of Maine, you can just go, I guess in every state you can just go pick up CBD. But here in Maine, you can pick up CBD, CBN, CBG, THC, CB. How many CBs are there? There's so many CBs. This plant, this herb, this cannabis is out of this world. Like, this is the most otherworldly alien plant that I've ever seen. The components that are being discovered about it, the molecules within it, the cannabinoid receptor system within the human body. This is the coolest science. One of the coolest sciences. I'm really into the quantum physics stuff too. All right, y'all. I just wanted to say that. Strait of Hormuz, yeah, let's get out of that. Let's become self-reliant on our own resources. Let's tap into the flow of American United States oil. Why? Why do we not have a flow of United States oil for American citizens? Okay. All right. I don't need sunglasses on anymore.